Twitch has accepted the stream.
Okay.
YouTube has accepted the stream.
All right.
Facebook has accepted the stream. Okay, you ready to start your show?
Might as well.
Look on the screen at the timer above your head.
Yeah.
All right, when it says on the air, you're on the air.
Oh, okay. So I don't even have to push the button. Pull.
You're gonna no more buttons to push, things to flip, none of that.
Good.
Ready?
All right. Sounds good to me. Okay, let's get going.
Wait till it says on the air.
All right. Am I on? The light didn't go on the up top up there. Can you hear me?
Does it say on the air?
It says on the air in the screen over here, but not.
That's what I was telling you to look at.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is DJ Brass Knuckles after a long delay, after a lot of problems I've had to sort out and get fixed up over here. I'm back over here. This is DJ Brass Knuckles, Richard Jazuski here, and I'm going to do a revamp of a show here, 175, which I did a couple of months ago, around July or so. I can't remember the exact date, but it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and because the first part of it came out with music. You heard music in the first half, but the second half there was supposed to be music playing, and for some reason it never got played. So, and before I start here, let me get this. Let me start playing this Native American music here real quick. Okay. So, I tried my best to get this music played, but it didn't work out. So I'm going to discard that show. So if anybody's been watching, maybe you can let me know what date that was, and just so I can make sure it was gone. So anyway, this is the new show 175 here. This is Sunday, July 30th, 2023. Next to last day of July, which will be the last day in about 5 minutes here, because I'm doing this 5 minutes before midnight. And so I got a lot of things. I'm just going to do a lot of talking here right now because I want to vent some stuff, because I got a lot of things to talk about and complain about. Before I do anything else, let me start with the thing here. I usually give you a birthday wish for people in July and June, maybe June and July, but I don't have time to do that. So happy birthday to those people in July who have birthdays in July, the month of July over here.
Oh, we got something new.
What's that?
I forgot to tell you this. You're going to like this.
Well,
all right.
Right in the middle of my.
Yeah, well, you're going to like it.
All right, let me know.
All you have to do is say. Well, if I say it, it's gonna happen. But here, if you were to say, "Hey, Alexa, tell me a birthday joke,"
I'd tell you a birthday joke, but it's getting old.
Okay. So what am I supposed to say now? Say Alexa, and then.
And then whatever you say, Alexa will do.
I don't know what to tell her.
Ask Alexa to tell you a joke about doing a podcast.
Hey Alexa, tell me a joke about doing a podcast.
I don't have a joke about that.
Oh, well, not very informative, are you, Alexa? Oh well.
You got to say the name first before you ask the question.
I don't know that one.
Okay, well we'll talk about that another time, Alexa. Right now I got to do a lot of talking here myself. I'm gonna be spewing a lot of stuff here today. Okay, I talked about the Peace Bridge issue over here. Let me just put this up here real fast here. If it shows up here, let me do that. Well, let me show you a few things here first. Let's start some of this stuff here real fast, okay? Support the True Buffalo, and you got the Enemies of Buffalo here. Kiss My Ass, 98.5, and other radio stations there, and you got Canada. I say, okay, support the True Buffalo, and this is their response. No, don't do it, no, torture. You'll be sentenced to torture. Okay, moving on with some other things real quick here. The Buffalo District Soccer League. Okay, where is this at? Okay, let me see if I can shrink this down. The Buffalo District Soccer League, all their team, well, the majority of teams in their leagues, various leagues, they got about eight or nine leagues. And the regular season just came to an end a week ago, and they just started the playoffs yesterday. It'll be officially yesterday in about 5 minutes. So at least one team I want to root for was winning, so I hope that helps out. I hope that gets going here. I hope I'd like to see a few more teams there win. So anyway, check out the Buffalo District Soccer League.org. Go to Twitter on that. You can get more information about that, and you can just ask them, put a little word balloon area there and just text it out. So I hope you get a chance to check out some of the games in the Buffalo District Soccer League. They're all over the place. They're in Buffalo here. You can probably catch them at Buffalo State College and at Nichols High School and probably in Narden Academy. You have to check the Buffalo District Soccer League and go to Twitter to find out, get some more help on that information over here. Okay, moving on quickly here. Again, go to cable channel 1302 Tuesdays and Thursday nights at midnight for my cable access TV shows, also called Something Different in Buffalo, just like my podcast. And you should be seeing my podcast shows. And since the month of July is now officially over for shows like that, you'll be starting to see August shows for August. So the first couple of episodes are going to be talking about the Peace Bridge again. And I'm going to try to bring that up real quick here as much as I can. As always, just check this out. It would be nice if you hit the like button. If you like anything about my show, hit the like button, but also put a comment in there. Just let me know what you liked about the show. So I'd appreciate some comments. And, it'd be nice to talk to me because, like I said before, years ago, 10, 15 years ago, I got over 3,300 hits at one time. And now I'm not getting hardly anything now, so I can't believe my stuff is that boring that you don't want to pay attention to this. Okay, most of my shows are on YouTube, especially some of the cable access TV shows I got on there. And you can also maybe you could possibly go to the Buffalo Music Archive real quick. I don't have time to talk to them. I don't know if they ever cleaned up that area or not because I've been able to go through it on my own through my phone and been able to find a lot of music. And also I have a TV where I can pick up the YouTube channel. So I find a lot of stuff on there, so I play that once in a while. Okay, also, I'm briefly here once again talk about the Buffalo Central Terminal. I would show you some pictures, but I just don't have time. I got a lot to do here, and because of all the lateness of the things that happened to me in the last month or two here, never got anything going here. So, and I may not play too much music this month on this show here, because a lot of things got done. Okay, I talked about the Peace Bridge over here, but there's another issue over here that hurts Buffalo here because, like I said, the St. Lawrence Seaway, they screwed Buffalo with that. They took a lot of businesses and money and people out with them on this thing. And like I said, the people in the Buffalo government here got to take the blame for a lot of this too because they were plotting with Canada about this thing, trying to tell us that Buffalo is a Canadian city. Better not let the United States of America hear you say that. Because I tell you right now, if they find out you've been double dipping over here, you're going to lose a lot of that financial support from the United States government over here that you've been using for 50 years or so, 50, 60 years. Let me just put this on here. Folks, to the United States government, you've been shelling out money to Buffalo here for the last 60 years. Most of that's welfare money that you gave them, basically, over here. You've shuttled out millions and millions, even billions of dollars to Buffalo over here for the last 60-plus years, and yet Buffalo's still the third poorest country in America, third poorest city in America. Makes you kind of wonder what these people are doing with all that money, doesn't it? Get back to this another time here. Maybe you're doing some nonsense like this here, playing footsie with Canada over here to try to build a turd over here. We could be getting this bridge built over here, but they don't want to build that, They want to settle for this turd. There's another one there. This is the public. The public chose this. Now, I don't care about public too much, but the public did it right one time over here, and they voted on a good-looking bridge over here. And Canada's been making all kinds of excuses over here. And speaking of excuses over here, let me talk about this over here. So once again, I'm going to be talking about these evil radio stations over here because that's what. There's a Kiss My Butt 98.5. Let me just back this up a little bit here so you get a chance to read it a little better. And not just Kiss My Ass 98.5, but 97 Rock and The Edge. You know, those two did support Buffalo music at one time, but they're basically just like everybody else around over here. And like I said, these real people are the real evil, brainwashing, racism, drug pushers, brain dead. They brainwash you to hate Buffalo. They're trained monkeys. They get the... And what's even more aggravating about this now is now they're playing games during the summertime. Let me just put this back over here. And the thing I'm really pissed off, it even pisses me off even more nowadays, is the way the summertime concerts. You know, about 10 years ago, you could go to these concerts over here where they had bands playing. And speaking of bands playing, I want to give you a quick list of some of the bands that played over the summer over here. So let me put this over here and see if this takes real quick. Okay. All right. Let me just put that over here. So this band here played a few weeks ago over at the Thursday at Main Street on Fountain Plaza. It's called Grush. Grush. That band sounds nice. At least it did until they started playing cover songs. That's one of the issues I got to bitch about on this thing here. Okay, this is Native American music, which you're hearing in the background. The Mom and Dad Parade, usually I play with their song for birthdays, but I didn't have a chance to do that. Once again, you got Grush. Grush, that music is so nice and pretty. Dot Sun Moon played on last Friday of the month, I believe in June or July, or June of this year, over at a art gallery in Hurdle Avenue here in Buffalo, in North Buffalo. Scott Salaney, he played over at the Totally Buffalo Festival that they had over at the Music is Art area there in Riverworks, and that was a weekend thing where for basically most of the weekend, you know, you got to taste it. You got some measure of something. They say it was totally Buffalo, but to be honest with you, it wasn't that totally Buffalo because there was a lot of stuff they were putting on the screen, the TV screen over there. Put a lot of stuff on the TV screen that had nothing to do with Buffalo. Like what the hell is that guy? That football player, Allen. He's not from Buffalo. He talked about Stephon Diggs or whatever the hell his name is, if another football player from Buffalo. He's not from Buffalo. Even the hockey players, the Sabres, the Buffalo Sabres, there's hardly anybody from Buffalo on this that they talk about. Where was Tim Kennedy? Where was who was the other one? I can't remember them all here. And on top of that, Patrick Kane's moved from Chicago over to New York City and playing for the Rangers now. Although I've just read in the Twitter portion over here, my phone over here, that he's considering Buffalo as a place to go play his last few games in his career, which would be nice if they ever actually would care to keep him on the team instead of just putting a token Buffalonian on there like they always do. Okay, moving on quickly here. Let me get back to this music real quick here. Scott Salaney, he performed over there along with Davey O. I don't have all their CDs on here with me. Let me see. I do have one here. Let me see if I can find it real fast over here. Okay, yeah, I got this one here. This person performed over there. Let me get the sleeve out of there so you can see it better. If I didn't have to put all these things on my front over here, you would be able to see this. So let me just show that to you real quick. Maria Sebastian, she's a very talented musician. She performed over at the Totally Buffalo Festival over at Riverworks. And there's another one of her CDs she has there. I like this first CD better because she had a lot of excellent music on the CD. And again, you know, these so-called Buffalo radio stations don't know good talent when they see it or hear it over here. Okay, I talked about Scott Salaney. There were some musicians that are listed on my compilation I made. Mark Freeland. Mark Freeland's passed away, but his music still lives on. And if you go to the Buffalo Music Art Festival coming up in September, you'll be able to hear some of that. Doug Yeomans, he performed, I believe, at Sportsman Tavern, I believe. McCarthyism, they were supposed to play. Let me just get this out of here too. McCarthyism, they were supposed to have played over at M&T Plaza, but it rained that day, so they weren't allowed. They couldn't get their show off. That's really too bad. And also Pharaoh, they're due to play, I believe, at the Live at Larkin, either Live at Larkin or somewhere else. I think it's Live at Larkin, but I'm not totally sure. But they're due to be performing. They're an excellent band. Oregon Fairchild, yeah, that's a ticket. They did perform at the Fountain Plaza area there for the Thursday at Main Street concert, and they played for about 15-20 minutes before the thunderstorms hit, and they were forced to shut down. But they did play original music, so that was excellent stuff on their part there. The Hot Dog Club of Buffalo, they also performed, I believe, at another area in Buffalo, on the west side of Buffalo. Speaking of the west side of Buffalo, Allentown Art Festival is practicing segregation because all these musicians over here, they push them all the way to the west side of the furthest part of west side of Allen Street, out of the way over there. Yet during the summer, during the Allentown Art Festival this year, they had a Mexican restaurant playing music loud right blasting the sound system all over the place. That angers me the most. Got all this good talent in Buffalo over here, and they just segregate them away. These people are racist. These people are racist. Make no mistake about it. Also, earlier on in the year, Alison Pipitone performed, and also there was Catherine Koch who performed over at where was this now? Oh, it was I can't remember where she played. I think it was I can't remember where she played. But she did play there. Alison Pipitone played also here. And also Spyro Gyra, which I forgot, I was hoping to bring with you, but they played over at the Queen City Jazz Festival this past Saturday, the 29th of July, day before I did this show. And I missed them, unfortunately, because the rain was raining and everything else like that, and I didn't even know if they're going to perform that day, but they did. So, and Spyro Gyra did perform there, and I missed it, unfortunately. So like I said, there's a lot of music talent going around over here. There was another group called let me see here. Hold on, I got some over here. Oh, let me see. There's a few other people over here. I did run into another band over here. I saw it at North Buffalo over here. Let me just see if I can find their CD real fast. Of course, I can't find it. Oh, there it is right here. Let me show that real fast here. And it's called Dot Sun Moon. Dot Sun Moon. Dot Sun Moon. Yeah, they performed over at an art center over in the North Buffalo area. During a Friday night, last Friday in the month. Concert series they have. It wasn't a concert series, it was a festival of sorts, outdoor festival of sorts. But they performed there, and I managed to catch some of their music there. So let me see who else I'm missing over here real quick, if I can find it real quick. I think I covered everybody I got over here. There's some people I didn't get to cover. And so anyway, getting that over there. Okay, moving that along. And now, normally you would have heard this stuff on this station here, WBNY 91.3 FM, the only radio station in Buffalo that supports Buffalo the right way, it supports these musicians the right way. And of course, I got to play with everything over here. I got to do all this over here like so. Oh, man. Okay, well, like I said, they do have live music coming on Friday nights now. It's on Friday nights from about 6 p.m. to about 7:30. And that's nice in a way, but unfortunately, they're going to be suffering the same fate as a lot of musicians in Buffalo over here during the summer because during the summertime these evil radio stations have managed to corrupt everything in the summertime here. Summertime is supposed to be the time when Buffalo plays their original music out there for everybody to listen to give everybody a taste of what Buffalo has. Let people know we have intelligent life in this city over here, that we can create some good original music over here. But instead of the corporations, they want to got the corporate-sponsored radio stations. They practically practice extortion with these people, saying, if you don't put our radio station music on your playlist over here during your summer concerts over here, you won't be able to perform ever again on these summer concert shows again. Now, they may not have said it exactly that way, but to you musicians over there, I'm sure they said it in some form like that. Sounds similar to what I just said. That's extortion, folks. And it's also brainwashing. They're also trying to brainwash us to hate Buffalo over here. Okay, with that in mind, I'm going to play a couple of things over here I set up. Let me see if I can, turn this off right now. Turn that off. And let me just put this on real quick here and see if this works. And let me try this right now. Hopefully you can hear this.
This was my first classroom, John. Did you know that? My first desk.
Didn't know you taught, Mr. Nolan.
English. Oh, long before your time. It was hard giving it up, I can tell you. I'm hearing rumors, John, about some unorthodox teaching methods in your classroom. I'm not saying they've had anything to do with the Dalton boys' outburst. But I don't think I have to warn you, boys his age are very impressionable.
Well, your reprimand made quite an impression, I'm sure.
What was going on in the courtyard the other day?
Courtyard.
Yeah, boys marching, clapping in unison.
Oh, that was an exercise to prove a point. Dangers of conformity.
Well, John, the curriculum here is set. It's proven it works. If you question it, what's to prevent them from doing the same?
I always thought the idea of education was to learn to think for yourself.
At these boys' age, not on your life.
Okay. All right, let me turn this volume down a little bit here because okay, let me shut this off here. Put this back over here because there's something else I want you to hear as well here. So let me see if I can find this real fast here. Okay, let me see if I can find it real fast because I know. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. All right, let me give you one more shot here.
There must be a single purpose, a single norm, a single approach, a single entity of people, a single virtue, a single morality, a single frame of reference, a single philosophy of government. We must cut off all that is different like a cancerous growth. It is essential in this society that we not only have a norm, but that we conform to that norm. Weaken us, variations destroy us. As incredible political is what has ended nations and brought them to their knees. Conformity, we must worship and hold steadfast. Conformity is the key to survival.
Okay. Well, like I said, I can't get much more simpler than that for you on this thing, but I'm pretty sure I can do one more little routine here real quick. If I get it fixed up here right, let me just see if I can do this right now.
Today, I learned the ritual hunt, but that is not all I learned. I discovered that warrior's blood runs through my veins. I do not know how or why, but we have forgotten ourselves. Our stories are not told. Our songs are not sung.
Okay, and just, okay, let me just set this up here real quick here because I want you to see this. I want you to get at least a little taste of this real quick here, as much as I can do on this with the limited time I have here. I'm going to try to explain it to you. So let me just run this by one more time. And let's let you see this, and hopefully you can see some of this here. So let me shrink this down a little bit so you can get a chance to better look at it. Okay, there we go. And now here we go here.
Today, I learned the ritual hunt. But that is not all I learned. I discovered that warriors' blood runs through my veins. I do not know how or why, but we have forgotten ourselves. Our stories are not told. Our songs are not sung.
Okay, let me see if I can move this along a little faster here. And if I can get this done real fast, you might be able to see this. All right, so let me see here if I can get this going here.
I saw what happened to him when he caught the scent of his prey on the wind. For the first time in his life, he felt powerful, and that is what he has been denied living here. And that is what you have tried to take away from him. Now, you may be content to sit here in the jungle and wither to old age, but Tuck and the others have tasted what it is to feel truly alive, and they will not give that up now.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything more in here, but, all right, let's see here. Let's see.
You will have to kill us to keep us here.
You see, Toka, it is already too late.
All right. Okay, well, I hope you got a little taste of that. And like I said, I'm wearing this shirt again because I'm going to be wearing this shirt for a while now because it's obvious that we need to send a strong message around here. And the message, if you can't read it too clear, I'll try to show it to you as best as I can. If I can get it going here. Okay, well, that's the best one I can do here. Now, it says here, support, and I put they want to put local, but I don't like the word local. It's too generic a term. Because you say local, and you got somebody from some tourists out there and say, hey, local music, you must be playing something from California or Florida or Texas or New York City or something like that. That's their idea of local music. So I just fill in the blanks over here for you people. It's support Buffalo music. Where is it there? There's support Buffalo local original music. That's the thing I'm promoting here. That's what I've been showing up for during the summertime over here for the last few shows I've been doing. Because, we're getting too much of this cover song crap over here. It's too much trained monkey music. That's all it is. It's trained monkey music, and these evil corporate radio stations are the organ grinders. And they're telling us, they're threatening the original musicians over here. If you don't play radio station music, so we can never forget about your covers, forget about your original music over here, then we're going to not let you play in any more summer concerts again. They did this for the Taste of Buffalo. They did this for the M&T Plaza series. They've even done it briefly for the Fountain Plaza series. And they've done it. They're even doing it on the Tuesday session at Bidwell Parkway. And so, they're basically just telling, they're threatening, it's this same tired music over and over and over again. And that's not what we're supposed to be listening to anymore. And I got a newsflash for you folks. So rock and roll music was the originators of protest music in the late 50s, early 60s, because they were protesting the music from the World War II era, the big band eras, and everything else like that they were playing during the 1940s and 50s after World War II. And that lasted about 15 years. Then rock and roll just burst onto the scene over here, and radio stations gave everybody a chance to be heard, even one-time hit people. And that's what we're missing around here today. Because attendance is picked up a little bit, but they're still sitting up with their thumbs up their butt every time the Buffalo bands play something original. And that's wrong to do. That's brainwashing everybody to say we're bored with this music, we don't like it, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, crap like this over here telling them. And they got the balls. I gotta give them credit. They got balls to sit here and say that we're just following the rules of the Federal Communications Commission. Now, I never had a chance to read those rules, but I find it hard to believe that the Federal Communications Commission, a branch of the United States government, would legalize this racist attitude they have toward the Buffalo and Western musicians over here. And I told you before about this. We have more nationally known recording artists than just the Goo Goo Dolls or Rick James. Rick James, by the way, like I said, he operated under a hedonistic society, and all his music ever promoted was sex, drugs, and whatever else he could get involved in. And even though MC Hammer borrowed one of his songs there to make himself popular, he never bothered giving Rick James the financial money that was rightfully his to begin with all that. But in MC Hammer's defense on that, Rick James's lifestyle kind of, kept him from getting that money. And by the time he found out he was being duped by these people, he was already on his way out the door of life, as it were. So, like I said, but there's a lot of things I could say over here. And basically it just comes down to a lot of racism, drug pushing. And I'm just kind of moving things along here a little bit while I'm doing this. Let me get back to the Native American music again. Might as well hear some Native American music because they've been crapped on. And I talked about segregation, Well, now you people know what the Native Americans went through and the African Americans went through. Nothing but segregation. That was even more true in the Allentown Phony Art Festival thing, because they just pushed all the musicians from Buffalo and West New York and their original music way off of the west side of Allen Street. As far back to the west side of Allen Street as they can push it. The closest you can get to is Nietzsche's. And even those places are starting to get a little corrupted over here too, because they're starting to play cover songs too. And these corporate radio stations, they say, "Well, you used to like this stuff." I used to like it too, folks, but I grew out of it. And the reason I'm supporting these radios, especially WBNY right here. WBNY is the only radio station that supports Buffalo the right way, by playing original music over here. And they still have bands coming in on Fridays to play original music over here, but every once in a while they start playing some cover songs. And I've been trying to tell them about this. You can't, you play cover songs, you're shooting yourself in the foot over there. And brings up one more thing here: when the phony Buffalo wins, the true Buffalo dies. That goes for sports teams around here over here. And moving on quickly now to other issues over here. And any attack of the truth from anywhere is an attack of the Bible. No matter how small that truth is, it's still part of the Bible. And on top of this, thanks FCC, the U.S. government. Thanks FCC and the U.S. government for making laws, rules, and regulations that let evil people like Kiss My Butt 98.5 right there do evil stuff to us for the last 40 years. Thanks for letting racism live on in this country. And that's not bad. Once again, we got Canada farting around with us on this thing, still farting around year after year with this stuff. We haven't heard from them too much over here, but then because they've kept a low profile, if they even bother talking at all, which I wish they'd never talk again. And they're over here saying Buffalo's a Canadian city. Now, why? You better, like I said before, folks, you better not let the United States hear you say this, or agree to the statement. And this came from a goddamn Bucky Gleason over here, a newspaper reporter for the Buffalo News over here, saying this stuff. He's trying to get everybody to believe this garbage of theirs. Because what you're doing is what a lot of people in Buffalo are doing here, double dipping all the time. If you're double dipping, I can promise you right now, the United States government's going to withdraw a lot of financial support from you. And you can try to lie to them about this, but again, I'm going to tell you right now, United States government, I'm going to put my face out there right for you right now so you see this. I'm going to tell you right now, United States government, you've been shelling out money, millions of dollars to the city of Buffalo, New York over here for 50 and 60 plus years. From as far back as late 1950s, right through the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000, right through all those decades. That's about 70 years of dishing out tons of money to these people over here, and Buffalo is still the third poorest city in America. Doesn't that make you wonder what these people are doing with this money? You better find out, because I'm telling you, and on top of that, they're starting to start bringing this story over, telling that Buffalo is a Canadian city. So you better that's even more reason to withdraw some money from these people. Or find out what they're doing with this money, because they're obviously giving the money to Canada, trying to help Canada out of their problems. They're the ones that cause these problems to begin with. Now, I want to read something as quickly as I can here because I've been meaning to read this stuff to you for some time over here, and I'm going to try to read this to you as quickly as I can because this is from the. Let me find the story here. Let me find the page here again. Just want to make sure you see what it is, so you know what I'm talking about here. There it is, right there. The State of Buffalo Radio over here. This is a report I was a part of in 1994. Which supported the statements of a newspaper reporter, Anthony Violante, who was of Italian descent, but Danny Sandpaper-Faced Nevereth decided to change his name from Anthony Violante to Anthony Violante. And he did it so subtly that everybody just kind of had the seed was already planted in everybody's head, saying he's a dumb Polak. Well, I'm part Polish myself, and I don't think that was very funny at all. Now, I read the first 10 pages of this thing, the first 8 or 9 pages of this report here, tell you. I wanted to read about the history of Buffalo music over here, but I don't think I'm going to have time for that right now. I'll try to make some time if I can. Okay, let me start with, like I said before, during the 1950s and 60s, rock and roll music was the protest music of the time. And then a few years later, they had country western music getting in on that thing. Detroit, Michigan, the Motown sound got into it. And then you got all kinds of bands and popular bands and all who use their music to protest a lot of issues. Unfortunately, the corporate-sponsored radio stations now whitewashed it all over here and just made it smelly clean over here, and try to make it sound like it's just mainstream music over here now. And you should be bored. I'm surprised you're still bored. You're not bored with this stuff. Let me read some of the stuff here real quick here. Okay, I'm going to read it to you as best I can, and I'm going to try to let you read it yourself here so you can see it for yourself. Okay, it says, during the mid to late 1960s, the club scene dispersed from downtown Buffalo to all areas of the city. Clubs like the Royal Arms and Pine Grill had national acts nightly. Throughout the city, top area groups can be found in clubs like Aloha's, the Bona Vista, Hideaway, the Inferno, and many others. The band Raven, a band I've played time and again on my shows. The band Raven, which played all these clubs, was signed to Columbia Records and was quoted by Beatle George Harrison's favorite band as Beatle George Harrison's favorite band. The younger generation was not forgotten as a number of teen clubs flourished throughout western New York. Clubs with names like the Commodore, Cave, Volcano, Peppermint Stick, Pussycat Club were filled with the under-18 crowd. Schools and church halls also had regular dances, so there was a lot more to do than just stand around the corners, get into trouble, watch MTV, or let drugs take control of your life. As the baby boom generation matured to the club age in force, the rock music scene in Buffalo blossomed. FM replaced AM radio, and leading the way was WPHD. The station played freeform radio, meaning that the DJs could choose what they wanted. It resulted in progressive programming where you would not just hear the hits, but album cuts by popular bands. And let me just bring it over here. And many songs by groups you never heard of before. And that includes from Buffalo and West New York as well. You may not have liked everything you heard, but it introduced you to many new acts, some of whom would never have hits but will become top touring attractions. The concerts at the Century Theater in UB featured many of these groups. The music scene and the city was alive. Even a small basement club at Main and Fillmore, the Trafalmador, which is now in Main Street, it was in Main Street over at near where the big amphitheater is. The Trafalmador gave birth to Spyro Gyra, who performed just recently at the Queen City Jazz Festival this past Saturday. Memory of this time period and the years following will evoke the names of a large number of popular rock clubs: McVan's, Poorhouse, Stage One, Purple Moose, Barrelhead, Cougars, After Dark, He's and She's, the Super House, Les Cracks, Miller's, Rooftop, Salty Dog, Long Branch, Bellstar, etc. Many other names have been forgotten, but it doesn't matter. Every one of these clubs have one thing in common: they no longer exist. You can add a list of the popular bands during this time period. Bands like Talus, Cheater, Bucks, Actor, Two Hills, The Road, Weekend, Cock Robin, Bees, Cheeks, Jambo, Pegasus, Rodin, Pauline and the Perros, Toys, Watchers, etc. Once again, all these bands are gone. Not one group made it to a national level. Sure, times change and bands come and go, but it doesn't seem right that a city that did so much to shape music in America does not have national acts living in the city and calling Buffalo their home. All right, let me see here. I want to get some more going on here. I want to read some more of this here. Some people may argue that Buffalo is represented in the national music scene, but many entertainers say they are from Buffalo, but that is always in the past tense. Just like the Christie Minstrels in 1846, Billy Sheehan, Grover Washington Jr., Rick James, Spyro Gyra, Green Gel, and many others are formerly from Buffalo and Western New York. The Goo Goo Dolls, Gamelan, John and Mary, and some Buffalo-based alternative or hardcore bands receive national, international attention, but they get little airplay and support in their hometown. Today, it appears that the trends of the past have all been reversed. Many tours skip Buffalo, preferring to play in Toronto or Rochester. People from Buffalo travel to Toronto for the music, theater, and nightlife that a couple of generations ago drew the residents of Toronto to Buffalo. The national music industry does not try to introduce new recordings in Buffalo because the radio stations only play what has already been proven to be a success. And that, folks, right there, that statement right there is the major problem in this city. This is the major problem right here in this city. That statement right there tells you what's wrong around here, folks. It tells you what's wrong. These corporate-owned radio stations over here are nothing but dictators over here trying to tell us this is the only music we should listen to. They said that crap in 1950s when they had like I said before, World War II music and all the other racist stuff like country western music, music from the South. That promoted, tried to tell everybody Native Americans were bad guys all the time and they should be shot and killed, which seemed unfair to the Native Americans who were fighting to protect their land, but they were out. Every time they tried to defend their land, the good old United States government came along and just provided guns and cannons and everything else on there to dump on their ass, to kill, almost to make genocide out of these people. That's their big crime in here, United States government. You got a lot to answer for in this, and you're going to have to answer to God about this. And since I'm talking about this, I'm going to have to stop on this here because I also want to talk about Kiss My Ass 98.5. There was another name I wanted to give it here. Let me see if I can. And it applies for just about anything in this book here I got. Let me see if I can find it real fast here because this letter they wrote over here basically said the FCC says they could do these kind of stuff around this racist attitude, and I find it totally evil. And if I get this stuff done real quick here, I can show it to you. And if I can find it, I'll let you see it again one more time. I had it and I lost it here. Ah, well. But anyway, Kiss My Ass 98.5. There's another name I want to give them here, and it's called Fraud International. That's right, folks. It's Fraud International. If I can find the station here again one more time, I'll let you see it again. I don't care if because they know it's the truth, folks. That's why. They keep whining and crying to the Facebook and YouTube and everybody. Oh, you shouldn't let him say this stuff here. You want to know why you don't want to hear it? Because it's the truth. That's what these people are. Fraud International. And they're doing this. They're not just doing this to the people in Buffalo here, but they're doing this to the tourists, the immigrants that come into Buffalo over here from another land. First thing they're introduced to is the damn radio station music overtime over here. Okay, here we go here. There it is, Kiss My Ass 98.5. And the amazing thing is, how could the church, and how could FCC make a law that says it's okay to support it says it's not okay, it's illegal to support the place where we were born in. And that's what these people are, Fraud International. It's vast, organized, and growing. And that's not a good sign for the Buffalo music scene around over here. This place used to be a booming town. I've gone over numerous times over here. I've gone through the city streets numerous times over here. in one form or another, usually by Metro Rail, Metro Bus, and whatever else over here. I pass through the signs, and I am shocked at the size of the empty warehouse buildings that we got. We got rows and rows and streets full of empty warehouse buildings over here, giant complexes, some 5-6 blocks long. And they're all empty now. And you can only blame the government for so much of this crap because they have to take some of the blame themselves on this thing. And like I said, going back to the Peace Bridge again. Well, there's a lot of things I could talk about here, but I'm gonna switch. I want you to watch something here. So let me see if I can get this done real fast. If I can find it real fast. Let's see. Okay, let me just turn this music off real quick here, because I want you to see and hear this for yourself over here. So let me put this on real quick while I got a few minutes here on this.
Please, God! I'm so sorry for it! The presence behind me. I have to run. Run out. Run, but I can't move. God, please! I can't move! God, please! The beast is gone. What? A tall man, robed in alabaster. So out of place here.
Alan, please come with me.
Who are you?
Are you with me?
Yes. I am. Who are you?
My name is not to be revealed in this setting.
You're an angel.
I am honored to serve the Sun who rules from the White Throne.
That place back there. Why did I have to go there?
We're waiting.
Waiting? Waiting for what? This is beautiful. It's more incredible than I had imagined. And yet somehow it's terrifying.
You are about to enter the Great Hall of the White Throne of Judgment. The Sun who sits on the throne has beheld your heart. He knows your innermost thoughts and desires. Nothing is hidden. You will approach when your name is called. At the gold rail you will kneel, where you will have a chance to address the Son of the Most High, the King of the Universe.
Wait, you're saying then that this will decide whether heaven or...
As it is written, this is the most decisive and solitary moment you will ever face. Did you not read in the eternal scriptures of the King's judgment seat? Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. may your name be found.
It's so vast. The ceiling must be 1,000, no, 5,000 feet high. It's also magnificent. It's so permeated with God's love. And yet somehow I feel a holy sacred fear.
Come.
All the things I worried about.
How are we ever going to pay this off, Jeff? When are you going to shave that thing off your face? The board says they're going to evaluate my performance over the last 2 years. Terry, do you see that gray hair? You know, there. Greg, I'm going to have to declare your room a national disaster area. I think these pants must have shrunk in the wash.
Oh, distractions. Foolishness. This is the moment I should have cared about. This is the moment that should have consumed me all my life. This is the moment I should have prepared for. My encounter with him.
Prepare yourself.
Hal Newman, it is now time to give an accounting of your time on Earth.
You'll be all right, my friend. You're one of the godliest men in my church. If you aren't accepted, then all my work has been for nothing. I've served you, Lord. My whole life has been about serving your name. It's been an honor, my Lord.
Gabriel, is the name Hal Newman found in the Book of Life?
Oh, what a blessing to be here to witness this. To see the reward of good.
It is not, my lord.
What?
Hal Newman, you are guilty of denying me. You will be taken to the lake of fire where you will spend eternity away from my presence in the company of Satan and his demons and all those who have denied me.
But Lord, how have I denied you? I accepted you as a boy. I've been a Christian my whole life. How can this be?
Gabriel, reveal the works of his life.
Yes, my lord.
Here's what you do. Give this envelope to my good buddy down at the Planning Commission. He'll turn his head the other way. Just long enough for us to get the go-ahead to break ground on the project. Is that easy?
Wait, I can get the siding for that low? Sure. I understand. Only good for 5 or 6 years? Yeah, well, hey, I'll be retired by then.
Stanley, relax, my friend. I've got several places we can hide the money, all right? Didn't you know I'm a CPA? Yeah, a creative person with accounting. Dear God.
Hal, I would have gladly forgiven you of these deeds. I died to give you that chance. If you had come to me with a broken and contrite heart, I would have erased these deeds from all memory.
Lord.
But you never knew me. And these deeds are merely evidence of what was in your heart, Ronald.
I am so sorry.
I gave you many chances to repent in life. But out of your pride, you refused. You prayed a prayer decades ago. But it meant little.
What?
You never followed me. You never knew me.
But Lord, I did many good things in your church.
Why do you call me Lord? And yet you failed to do what I told you. Hal, you have never been.
No.
Now you must go away, for your deeds are evil.
No.
Bind him hand and foot.
No.
Take him away. Cast him into outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing.
No. No. can't believe this. A man who spent his entire life in church. Why?
Even now your friend curses at God, curses at you. That has been your friend's true nature all along. It is now revealed.
What was that?
Time moving. We are in the fullness of time and are moving about its corridors. This is the same sensation the Apostle John experienced when moving through the events in the book of Revelation. When you are no longer confined to time, you see things you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Carrie Knowles.
After what happened to Hal, I was relieved to hear Carrie's name called. I watched Carrie step forward, and I thought back to images of her holding a crying baby at church, or taking a little toddler by the hand. Carrie was an amazing woman.
Gabriel, reveal the works of her life.
Yes, my lord.
Did you hear about Pastor Allen? He took up with that trashy little worship singer. Everybody knows they spent the night together in some love nest. You can't tell anyone. It could ruin a marriage. I'm not here to gossip. But if you're thinking of making that woman head of preschool, there are some things you should know. I'm just sharing these things out of concern. After all, she is part of the church ministry, so she really needs our prayers.
I had no idea. She was the source of all those nasty rumors. Terry warned me about her. Something she felt.
Carrie Knowles, it is time to account for your stewardship.
Yes, my lord. My lord, please. Those statements, they were taken out of context. The children, they were my joy, my greatest concern. I gladly served you.
Carrie, did you not hear my word when I said, not all who sound religious are godly people. They may refer to me as Lord, but their heart is far from me, for they are unwilling to obey my Father.
Unwilling to? Now hold on here.
Gabriel, is the name Carrie Knowles found in the Book of Life?
No.
What?
It is not, my lord.
What? Lord, I've been nothing but a servant for as long as I can remember.
And you already received your full reward for that service, Carrie.
That's it? That's all the thanks I get?
Carrie, my word is clear about the 7 things I hate. And the 7th, which is an abomination, is sowing discord among brethren. Again, I state in my word that I cannot tolerate those who slander their neighbors.
Didn't I pray? Didn't I ask forgiveness of my sins?
You did.
Yeah.
But Carrie, your heart was far from me. You stated you knew Jesus, but you never came to me with a humble and contrite heart for salvation.
It's not true.
Therefore, my life was never imparted to you.
But I prayed! I did...
Trusted in your works. A substitute for a genuine relationship with me. My word is clear on that, Carrie. You are not justified by works. If you had sincerely given your life to me, your life would have shown a changed nature. You would have loved what I loved, hated what I hated. That is the evidence. It isn't the works, Carrie. It's the heart. You do not know me, Carrie. And I do not know you. My word is clear. You have made your choice. Therefore, you must depart from me and go to your eternal punishment.
Now you just wait here.
You must go to the place reserved for those who reject. For many are called, but few are chosen.
Get these off me! I said, get these chains off me!
Well, I could continue on with that, but I don't have time anymore. I'm running out of time, as you can tell by the clock on the wall right there. So, I wanted to say, this is just a small taste of what's coming down the road for you people. And you know who you are. I've shown you who you are, and you know what's going to happen to you. If you think they're playing around with this, wait until you get jumped into the lake. Well, that's about it for this show here. I'm sorry I didn't play any music from Buffalo musicians, but I had so many issues going on, and I had to vent my spleen here. So this has been DJ Brass Knuckles of the Something Different in Buffalo radio program, podcast version here on Think Twice Radio. And I hope you get a chance to do this. And I'm going to say this one more time. Support the true Buffalo as always. Make supporting the true Buffalo the priority, not the minority. Have a good night, and talk to you later. Goodbye.